Yeah, I've seen, actually, I had some like that had a blade in them,
Uh-huh.
so that after you did that and you had the color outline, you could push a button and the X-Acto blade would come down, and you could cut around them.
Huh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I haven't
Hey,
heard of that
everybody.
before.
We got Rennie and, Nell here already.
So I was just telling Peg that my oldest son got me an art present. He's not the artistic one. It's called Super Squiggles Outline Markers, and when you write with them, I don't know if you guys can see, the color of the marker bleeds out to the edge, and um, the marker writes silver.
Very cool.
So that's something I got two sets. They're the same colors. Two sets though from my kid. But if you write with them on black, they're just silver. So I thought that was interesting.
That is fun.
Yep, I see Rennie and Nell,
Yeah.
who has joined us for this last live stream of 2021. And Marie, hi Marie. And we're just going to talk about stuff coming up and then work on stuff that may or may not be related. That's our plan.
Definitely may or may not be related. I've just got, I've got this little journal out here. I was playing with one of the things for my next year is, I've been on this whole organizational kick thing. And I want to be better prepared. So I've been going through all of my products and things. And so you'll probably see a hashtag come up. I need to, I'm not in the live here. Isn't that weird? I want to go to, so anyway, I don't have to see all that. And we've got more people coming in. Hi, Marie. Hi, Peggy. So one of the things that I want to do for at least the beginning of next year is to be better organized. So you'll probably see the hashtag AJOS organize come up, because I will be sharing some of my organizational tips and pictures and tips kind of thing. So, and I might even do a spreadsheet for you guys with, what I'm organizing today or something, so that you've got something to go back and refer to. I don't know. We'll see how far I get. But I find organization very important for me when I do artwork, because I don't want to have to stop and think about where is my stuff. I want to know I've got what I need to make things with.
Well, I'm probably as organized as I'm going to get. So I know where my most of my stuff is. Through the last year, I have
Oh my gosh.
worked on it. And hi, Carol. Welcome, welcome. I did. I have a few ideas for things that I'm going to do for 2022. And one thing I am not going to do is set any goals. Because to me, if I set a goal and I don't achieve that goal, whatever it is, oh, lose 50 pounds, oh, get 10,000 subscribers on your channel, do this, do that, whatever, and I don't reach it, I feel really bad. So I think goal setting for me is not a good idea. Because the chances, with the way my life is and how chaotic everything is in my life, I don't know that I'll necessarily reach any goals. So I do have, and I know Peg is doing this too, a word for the year. And I am going to focus on my word for the year 2022 instead of thinking about specific goals. And my word for the year is what I need in my life. And as you're setting up your word, for the year and thinking about it, you really need to think about what you need for your life. And for my life right now, it is utter and complete chaos. I'm caretaking for older people. I'm caretaking for a sick person. I can never like know that something is going to happen. And that really frustrates me. And I haven't been able to get past that in 2021. And I know everyone's tired in 2021. We're all tired, you know. We got the COVID and people are sick, and we're so tired of all of that. But the way I'm going to combat that this year is with my word, which is serenity.
Oh,
This
good
is what I'm
word.
looking for in my life. I need serenity. I need time to focus my mind and to calm down and to accept things as they are. So this is my whole focus for 2022 right here, serenity. And I have written down some notes about things that I'm going to try to do every day and how I'm going to, what serenity means to me, and how I'm going to deal with the things in my life this year. So part of that, I did sign up for a class, a year-long class, which is called Wanderlust. I'm not really why I understand in my own head why I keep paying for a year-long class that I never do. But I'm going to try to do it. And one of the things that they're doing is art journaling, which is a good way for me to focus every day, to calm down, to think, to accept, to, these type of things. An art journal is a great idea. So I'm going to do a junk journal. It is junk journal. This is like just literally crap, right? And so I'm making the cover, and I'm going to put the word serenity on it, and I'm using specific colors that I think are calming to me. Of course, also using the color of the year, which is Very Perry. And then combining it with like mint and a light coral color and a light buttery yellow. So that's what I'm doing. I'm working on the cover of my junk journal that I'm going to use for Wanderlust, making a page each day if I can. If I can't, that's okay too.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm doing.
And honestly, the whole word thing to me is very difficult. I made a whole list. Let me show you in my document list. I've got a whole word list because I really think about this and where I want to go with this for the next year, because it's a whole year that I want to focus in on something. It's just like we will be more focused in the following year for Art Joy Sharing, because Shell and I have talked about focus. So on my list of words, you may notice that one of the words is focus, and I may end up using that as my final word for the year, because I need to focus more on what's important, whether it's in art or with my family, or, because I look at these words. I have allow, fearless, reflect, relax, more, risk, release, contrast, bold, balance, spice, work, simplify, imagine, study, release, link, harmonize, reach, repeat, allow, delight, daily, fluid, purpose, and liberty. And, all of those are really good words. But I think for me, focus is going to have to be primary. So I too have a number of these little journals. They're junk journals that people have shared with me, and I want to use them. So I'm taking these and altering them a little bit, making them my own. And they may show up in some of these daily art challenge things, just because I want to do more daily art, like Shell is saying. We need to focus in on that practice of art.
Yes. We've been discussing this. One thing that has been frustrating both Peg and I, is that we are overcommitting to groups, to, people ask us to do something with them, and we do it, and then we feel frustrated, like, you know, a year-long thing. Like, I cannot believe I signed up for Wanderlust, to be honest. What was I
Well,
thinking?
I've got a whole list of classes and things I signed up for next year already because I started doing this back in September.
Yeah,
And
I have a couple that I've paid for that I haven't watched,
yeah,
and you know, that whole year-long thing, and then it's like it just never stops. I keep overcommitting, and so we are really, really focused, like Peg said, on our own group this year, and making sure that our challenges and the things that are coming up, which you guys will be seeing, um, all coordinate with each other, all go with each other, all make sense, and are not overwhelming to anybody else. That was one problem we had, was people are getting overwhelmed. We really want to see people participate in our group. That's the ultimate goal. It's like, please participate. So with that in mind, we have been thinking about and focusing in on what we want to do. So Peg, I think your idea of a word for being focused is excellent.
yeah, and as we were just speaking there, I was adding simplify to the list because all of these words mean something to me. And even if I just use these words for my daily practice as a prompt for my daily artwork, I'm putting these words down and using them in my practice to prompt me.
Yeah, I did that too. I have words like calm and warmth and peace and love, along with serenity. I have accept, rhythm and repetition, soothe, breathe, mindfulness. You know, these are words that go along with my other word, with my main word, that is to focus in on trying for serenity.
Mm-hmm.
And I think everyone should do that. It would be great if we could have a challenge in the group that people could do that. And a way to do something that I saw someone else do, which is kind of what I'm doing. I'm doing a journal cover, but you could just make some type of a multimedia art piece to hang on your wall with your word, and then include pictures and words and ideas cut from magazines in order to support it. And then when you go to do your daily practice, you can look at it and say, okay, these are the things that I thought about at the beginning of the year. How can I continue to do these things in order to make my life better and my art practice better? And I can't remember who I saw their art. I think it was on probably on Instagram, that someone had done their word, and then they'd made like maybe a 12 by 12, kind of like a vision board, but more artsy. Yeah. Because, you know, you don't want it to, that vision board, blah, that's ugly. I want something pretty. That's just me. So you could make a mixed media piece to hang in your creative space that would remind you of these things. That would be a good thing to do, I think.
Yeah, I was just pulling some stuff out. So
you guys may remember from last year this journal, which I had started, and it was all about my word for the year was build, and it was about building community, and that was 2021. So and of course I haven't finished this journal yet. I've got a lot of stuff in here, but there's still plenty of work to be done, and I need to come back and look at notes and things that are in here, things that I accomplished, things that I did not accomplish, you know, and build on that, because that's my word for the year. The year's not over yet. I need to build on what I did last year. So I've got, you know, a number of things here, whether it's my calendar or the pages that I was working on. But yeah, that was 2021. Then 2020, you remember 2020, oh my goodness.
Well, let's not remember 2020.
This was a journal from 2020. And, you know, a lot of these things help me get through those years. You know, this is just different prompts and things that we were doing throughout the year in 2020. So it's good to have several small journals like this that you're working out of. I like to have watercolor journals. I like to have mixed media journals. You know, I think,
I guess what we're saying is art journal, guys.
yeah,
It'll help your life.
yeah,
And I haven't been doing a lot of art journaling. I haven't been doing a lot of anything. I've been just definitely not focused on what I want or what I need. Not been taking care of myself, not been, you know, all those things, just not.
yeah. See, here's where I was documenting in this journal about some of the home improvements I was doing. You know, so it doesn't necessarily have to be just, you know, this was because in 2020 we had derecho here. And so it was a lot of outdoor fixing up and tearing down. And so this journal has a lot of that sort of stuff in it, in addition to artwork. So I have a small camera. I don't know if you guys have anything like this, but you can size your pictures to print smaller. I happen to have a small camera like this, and it takes these little, are they 2x3 or 3x4? I don't know, little bitty. That looks like about 2x3.5 maybe. And this is a sprocket. So I can take those little pictures to go in my journal and add it to my artwork. So, but you know, I've got these journals now that I can go back to and refer to from these different years. I see people are coming in and they're talking about their words. Julie says her word is do. That's a good one. Stella, quit calling you. Oh, Terry says focus was her word 3 years ago. Helped her pay attention to what she was really focusing on during the year. Rennie says participate is her word in 2019.
I don't think I even had a word yet last year. I was so out of it last year that I couldn't even think. So,
Yeah. Well, and okay, so now that we're talking about this, you don't necessarily have to have a word for the year, especially if you haven't really focused in on a particular word. But there are a number of different challenges that I wanted to talk about that are coming out in the next year. One of which is the one from Golden Artists. They're using their watercolor and their golden acrylics. And I happen to have some golden watercolors, which I haven't really busted out of the jacket yet. This is my roll with golden in it. And I've got these brushes. These were gifted me from, who's the Dynasty inks, Dynasty paintbrushes. Had gifted me a nice set of paintbrushes. So I've got these Dynasty brushes, and I've got my golden watercolor here. So most of that golden thing, I may try to focus in more on the watercolor than the acrylics. I don't know, because I have golden acrylics also. Just depends on my mood, you know. But I really like golden products. You guys know I like golden products, so I will be trying to do, because that's like a 30-day prompt thing, I think, for Golden Artists. And I think Mary Beth Shaw from Stencil Girl is participating in that one too.
She did 30 paintings in 30 days last year, and that's what she was talking about. I don't know
Yeah.
if it's the same. But
Yeah, it is, because she was using golden products, and I think she's using golden and dynasty paintbrushes too. So that will be the hashtags for that are SG, in case you want to jot any of these down to look at them, like if you're on Instagram or something. The hashtag for that for Mary Beth is SG, which is Stencil Girl, SG 2022. The one for golden is hashtag GAE Challenge, Golden Artist Educator Challenge 2022. And if you want to see what they did last year, just look up the stuff from 2021 and you'll see that. Of course, we still have Art Joy of Sharing hashtags. So, you can look at Art Joy of Sharing. We will probably be using a new one for AJOS 2022 and several throughout the year, because we will have hashtags each month.
yeah, and speaking of the hashtags each month, they have not in the past necessarily coordinated with anything else. And this year they are. So we will have a hashtag theme every month that coordinates with the challenge and the mood board. And the challenges are changing, and you will see the first one coming out on January the 1st at 10:30 Central as a video in the group. So set your calendars for that. We will be in Art Joy of Sharing group on Facebook with a video.
Right.
On the
So
first.
if there's anybody watching this video who hasn't actually joined the Facebook group, just know that it's never too late to join. All you have to do is answer a few questions so we know you're not a robot or something, and we will get you added into the group.
Is there somebody who hasn't joined?
Oh, we're still adding people all the time.
Well, that's true.
So, yeah, I think there are.
I know there are. I mean, I'm just like, if you're here watching us right now, it would seem like you would have already.
Well, not everybody likes Facebook, and I get that,
Well, I don't like Facebook.
So anyway, part of my cleanup thing, I was telling you about how I've been going through things. I've still got these pots of Diane Reevely paint. Remember, I thinned these down, and they're still very fluid, and they're still working for me. So that was probably a year and a half ago. I thinned these down with some medium because everybody's paint was drying up.
And they're still working? I had to throw the ones I had away.
They're still working.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So I want to use up some of these things. I also am boxing up some stuff that I'm getting rid of that are just, they're not my thing. I've got paints that I collected to give a try, and they just, a lot of things that aren't my thing, I'm just not going to continue with. They're not going to stay in my wheelhouse here.
Makes perfect sense.
So yeah, I am amazed that I think the one that dried up was the yellow. I think the yellow gave up. But these are still vibrant. And I just need to make some stuff with them. So there's Fia. I don't have a word for next year. Okay. Well, there's still time.
Still time. Yeah.
Yep. So I've got some, this is packaging that something came with. I'm going to put some marks on here. Let's see. Let's go this way too.
Here's some doodles I did with those pins that my kid gave me that draw silver in the middle and then the color bleeds out. And this is on tissue paper, so this will be really great for collaging. Next, I might do some right now.
Yeah, so let me see, what else am I talking about? Oh, yeah, I signed up for a bunch of classes. And I want to do them. I really want to do them. But in addition to that, I bought a bunch of new books because I can learn as much out of a book as I can out of taking a class.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
So I want to work through some of these books that I picked up. Some of them are like with Chinese brushes, the ink and pen work with the brushes. That I've been getting really interested in the ink stuff lately. And so I wanted to get some more schooling for myself with that sort of thing. So I don't know what I do with that other print. There it is. So I got this really cool like Chinese calligraphy set that has the inks, it has the little palette that you put the ink out onto, it had the brush, the Chinese calligraphy type brush, and it had an instruction book, and it had a practice pad, and it was all together in one kit, like in the half price book thing. So it was super cheap. It's like, yeah, I can't walk away and leave that there. I had to get it. But a lot of times, if you've got something like a half price book, or I know like if you're out west and you can go to Powell Books and you can go into the used book section. I've been in Powell Books and found some really cool stuff before.
So one of the things that I decided, reason I'm putting music notes on here, there's a reason for that. I decided that I need to not listen to angry music because I prefer angry music. I don't know about you guys, but I like rock and roll. I like, that type of music, but I'm going to spend some time not listening to that, but rather listening to soothing, calm music as I'm doing my mindfulness practice during, the early morning.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to listen to classical music or something like that that's not so angry. And that's a real I don't know what you would want to call it. That's a tough one for me.
Well, because we all have different genres that we enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta say, I like some headbanger stuff when I'm in the mood. But it's not every day that I want that because it is very riotous, and sometimes you're just not ready for that.
Oh, I'm always ready.
Are you?
I do realize that my mood is probably affected by that, maybe. And I need to have a little bit more calmness and serenity. So I'm just going to go ahead and try not to listen to that when I'm doing my regular daily stuff. I mean, my family has a rock and roll band.
Yeah.
You know, my kid plays guitar. It's something that I enjoy with my family. So,
So why would you not? You know.
but I do recognize that perhaps that does affect my mood somewhat, maybe a little bit.
Well, it's just like a lot of the social things that we see. A lot of times I have to turn off the news and the social things that we see because it affects us.
I need the news to be off. I wish the news was always off. I go downstairs and that's what's on the TV, and I just wished it was not. But I'm not the only one who lives here.
Right.
But I do wish that it would not be. All right. Other stuff here. What are the other things? This one.
So we are, like they say, we are the masters of our ship. We are in control. And so if we know that something is detrimental to our mood, then we need to be in control of that and change that mood.
Easier said than done.
It is. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm saying that nobody else can do that for us. We have to take charge. And if that means changing the music that we're listening to, or doing a daily practice that gets us into the right kind of frame of mind to start the day, or there's lots of things.
Dang, tissue paper is always so testy. Makes great collage, but it's so testy.
Yeah.
So I want
Peggy
to
says you
throw
can
the
put the TV on the ambient channel.
ambient. Yeah. I found one this morning that on my Pandora that's like a setup channel already that's called calming music or something like that. And it's just basically classical stuff. Which that's what I was listening to when Peg and I came in this morning, and it was I could see that how that could make a difference, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So some of the things that I was writing about, things that make me calm, or give me more serenity, was things that remind me of that, were things like rolling waves and the silence under trees. And so that's the reason that I put the trees on. So it kind of informed the colors as well as I was going. And this is a graphite transfer on the gel plate. I wrote some words in my own handwriting, pressed them down on the plate, picked them up with this buttery yellow color. And so I can use that as part of my collage, and it's permanent, stuck on there because it's stuck into the paint. I know you guys have seen graphite transfers. I'm sure I have them on my other channel. But these are some of the words that I wrote. And so I just wrote them again on this type of paper. Doesn't matter what kind of paper. It would happen to be rice paper. And then I can just use that as part of my collage as I'm doing this.
So as I've been cleaning, I put a new pegboard up, which meant some art stuff came down off of the walls, and I had some large canvases that I wanted to recycle. So I had a big canvas that I've already started to recycle on, which was this one. Um, and you can see that these yellow lines going through here are another layer that I've just started putting on top of this canvas. And so yesterday I came back and I added a layer of gesso over the top of that. So I've already got 2 additional layers on this canvas, and it will continue to evolve. What I did a couple of years ago was a canvas where I did like 30 days of product challenge, and it was this canvas right here. And I can't remember whose challenge it was, but every day there was something that we had to do to the canvas. And so there were layer after layer after layer on this particular canvas. And so I thought I might do something like that on that big canvas just to bust out some products that I haven't had out for a while and give it a go, because it's just something that was sitting here not getting used. So,
Makes sense to me.
but that one you'll probably see come out with the hashtag of AJOS product a day. And if you're doing something like that, use the hashtag so that, I can see what you're doing too. I think I need a bigger outline pen. This is pretty darn big.
Terry says that her husband traded the news for tractor videos, and she now knows tractors by their color.
Well, yeah. Yeah, my husband watches all kinds of farmer stuff, and it's like, we're never farming again. It's like, but he watches these people that do, what do they call that? It's like homesteading stuff.
Uh-huh.
Big thing right now is homesteading stuff. And so he watches that and he gets some bright ideas, and then he talks me into planting something, and then we don't do anything with it. I'm hoping that we don't have quite as large a garden this next year, because I planted one for him and I thought he was going to get out there and do something, and he just didn't. And so I don't want to tend the garden because I got enough other yard work to do. Maybe I would like to do one of those, what do you call it? Those potted plant gardens where you just do it on the patio.
I'm still picking tomatoes.
Are you really? Wow.
I picked some on Christmas and put them in the salad. So
The only thing I have out there that I can pick still is kale, because it snowed.
yeah, we haven't had any freeze, so there's still tons of green ones on there. If it'll just keep going until there's a freeze, which we may never even get.
Yeah.
But it's kind of funny to be out there on Christmas picking your tomatoes. I picked some yesterday too and made salsa, because they don't do well in the summer.
Yeah.
Like everyone else in the country has them in the summer, and mine refuse to grow in the summer because it's too dang hot and they don't like it.
Well, I did dehydrate some vegetables. I got a dehydrator and dried some things. So I do have some of that I can throw into stuff. But yesterday we went to the physical therapist for Ron, and my physical therapist had a client that has range-free poultry.
Nice.
And he had gotten a shipment in from this guy, and he says, well, here, let me give you some eggs. It's like, whoa, yeah, let me just so I got some really nice range-free eggs yesterday from our physical therapist. So I'm anxious to cook with those today.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And he's trying to explain to me about fertilized eggs. And I said, yeah, we raised poultry. I get it, so it's got a red dot. Doesn't bother me a bit.
Yeah.
Because I remember in college, my Composition 2 theme was on backyard poultry raising, because everybody else was doing it on all the social issues. And I thought, I don't want to do, the standard stuff. So I wrote my thesis on backyard poultry raising. And the teacher loved it because it was refreshing compared to, what everybody else was doing. So something different. But I also want to experiment. I got some new recipes, and I want to experiment with some healthier cooking, which means I have to focus on that. It takes a lot of focus to change your diet and make a difference to how you eat and what you're consuming, what you're buying, what you're supporting.
My mom gave me a whole big bunch of plant-based recipes to try for Christmas.
nice.
She gave me a bunch of books.
Nice.
Because I do like to cook, and I consider that one of my creative things. So it's tricky because I've got so many different people eating, who have opinions. If it was just me,
yeah,
things would be different,
I know what you're saying, because the way I eat and the way he eats are different. And there's only the two of us. You've got multiple people.
Yeah, there's 6 people here. So
Yeah.
It's tricky to, I can't force everyone to do the things that I want to try. And so all I can do is make something and then hope that they like it.
Yeah.
And then not tell them it doesn't have meat. Just tell them the protein content and not that it doesn't have meat.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of ways of getting protein without meat.
Yeah. So one of the things that I enjoy that calms me in the morning is drinking warm tea. So I'm going to put some tea bags on here.
Oh, yeah.
And it also warms up the composition a little bit.
I've got some of these tags I've been saving because they have nice quotes on them.
Yeah.
I've been, I like the, what is it? Yogi tea.
Yogi. Uh-huh.
Yeah. And there's a number of their teas that I'm enjoying. But I'm trying to switch off of so much caffeine because I know that gets me going, and do more herbal. We used to do nothing but herbal tea, and I've gone away from that. I don't know why.
I don't drink much caffeine, and probably the only thing that that has caffeine is black tea in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
I mostly drink black tea. But, I drink water. I mean, it's just all water all the time.
Yeah.
For me. So I'm not worried about that. That's not something that is causing me aggravation at this point. Although I could see how it could. For sure. Oh, I loved this little weird print, but I don't know if there's a space for it. But isn't that cool? It was like an edge.
Oh, Rennie said she just walked out back and picked a beautiful orange. That would be lovely.
Yeah, she has oranges. I wish I had oranges. She brought me some one time when she came down here.
Well, that's the one
Mhm.
thing I really enjoyed when we were in Texas, because the oranges and the grapefruit down there were just wonderful. And, they'd had a chance to actually ripen on the tree instead of getting shipped green.
Yeah, they get so sweet.
Yeah.
We have some sort of a tree in the backyard that someone else had planted that's, I think, supposed to be an orange tree, but it doesn't taste good.
Wow.
I don't know what it's supposed to be, but I'm not a fan of it. So I think I've probably got enough in the way of collage on here. Maybe just a little bit something. I don't know. I don't like that yellow piece so much.
I need to change this up a little bit.
I like these handmade papers. Little scraps of handmade paper give a lot of texture, and this has texture because the first thing I did was to put down deli paper that was painted, and so we ended up with lots of texture that way. Oh no, do I want that? Because deli paper never wants to completely lay down. It's always got opinions. Lots of opinions, deli paper. I need any more dark. I don't like that little spot right there. I think this is Prussian blue, and that's different than the blue that's there. But I decided Payne's Gray would be one of my colors on this composition. Circles and spirals and repetition of those shapes calms me and soothes me. I've discovered that in my life that I need to repeat things sometimes to calm down, and the motion of circles and spirals, like what I was doing on here, spirals and circles and waves, things like that, soothe me. So that's why I'm adding those type of shapes to my composition. Got some circles and some things like that on here. Very soothing for me. It's probably why I like those shapes. Also, the inclusiveness, the closed-inness, the being surrounded by safety and warmth inside of a cocoon is what those type of shapes remind me of. I know it's a little woo-woo, but it is what it is.
Woo-woo's okay.
Yeah. Make sure everything is really sealed down here. These things are acting like they don't want to be sealed. So I think I'm going to move on to the next step. Are you all sealed? This part wants to, I might just tear that off maybe. It doesn't want to go around that corner of the book. This definitely has wrinkles like an old person.
So Ash, Shell, and I are changing things up this next year. Please be sure and tell us what you like, what you don't like about the changes. please try to participate and show us your work so that we know that we are catching people's interest and we're doing something that's of benefit to the community. There's no point of us spending a lot of time on something if you guys really are not into it.
So true. We'd like to hear from you.
Right. And, we can always change things up mid-year too. If something isn't working, doesn't mean we have to continue to go with it. But I think the focus of what we're doing next year is going to be so much better for you guys, just because of how we've laid it out. And I hope you're appreciative of that and can follow along and utilize, what we're putting out there for you. Try to clip this down a little bit, make sure it gets stuck. I'm using some of this clear tacky glue from Aleene's. It's usually pretty
Our upcoming class is, I don't know if we talked about that yet. As far as the paid classes go for Art Joy of Sharing membership classes, is collage. Somebody asked.
okay.
That's what the next one will be. And we're going to start advertising it soon.
Yeah, it will go, it will actually go live for registration on the 1st. We will not open up, we'll not be adding people to that group until the following week as we close out our November stuff. But yeah, I want to give people a chance to finish up what they had begun. But I know people have been looking forward to this. That was one of the first things that we heard from people about what they wanted in the way of a course. So I'm hoping we get more people participating and signing up for that one. It is something that was asked for, and that's why we're doing it.
Yep. And remember, we teach 4 1.5-hour classes. And then we save them in the group so that people can watch them over and over for a certain length of time. And then we clear them out before we start the next cycle. So it's kind of quarterly. It wraps around quarterly. That's how we run those classes. Some of you were already in the group and paid for the whole year. Some of you could renew. Some of you paid for one class and could renew at a special price for a little bit longer and could watch the rest of them we didn't start the year of classes on the 1st of January. So our year is doesn't start on January for that because we started them later in the year.
Yeah, our courses run July to July.
Yeah. What is that, a fiscal year?
Well, it's kind of like a school year. It's quarterly.
Yeah. Don't know what else you'd call it. I got a new stencil from my Secret Santa in Stencil Club. And it was one that I did not have. And I like it.
I am super stoked. I got I finally got my stuff from Stencil Girl for the month. Raise stuff. I love them.
Uh-huh.
And I should get them out and use them here because they are really cool. If you guys are not part of Stencil Club you don't have to stay in Stencil Club, which is one of the things that I think is cool. You can join up for a month. Like if you see a particular month that's coming out and you want it, you can join up. You can order the ones from the past that you wanted that maybe you just, you didn't get into Stencil Club early enough. And you can stop your membership at any time. So they typically take your payment like on the 1st of the month, and then they mail the stuff out on the 15th. So, but I think mine was held up a little bit just because of the holiday mail, right?
Yeah, the holiday mail, because I live all the way over here in Arizona, and you live a lot closer to Stencil Girl, but yet you got yours after I did, which was weird. So had to been the holiday rush. It's a cool stencil. It's like exactly what I was talking about, the circle, 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 circle. I like it.
But if you guys didn't watch that gel printing that Shell was doing with these stencils, you should go watch that because it was really awesome. But I mean, these stencils, they're floral. How can I not like these, right?
But they're layering, kind of like a layering stencil.
Yeah.
And that big one, when you look at it on its own, it's like, what is that? But then when you start to realize what it is, you're like, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. So this one has spirally shapes on it too. This one is, what is this? Apparently, I don't know because I can't find. I know it's a Stencil Girl stencil, but I don't know what it is. Where's the words? No words on it. It must have been a club or something. I don't know what this is, but anyway, I like these. This looks like underwater to me. Kind of like these corally.
I have some of the coolest designs, and of course, the coolest designer of them all is Shel C.
I've got to get my new designs that I have a plan for in, because I just have to like sit down and do it. I have this idea. I've been thinking about it for a while.
Yeah.
And I just need to do it. Just do it. Why can't I see where it says the number on here? I'm sure it has it.
Hey, Barbara Clark, you back, huh?
I don't know if it's on there or not. Maybe I can.
Well, if you printed off the notes, Terry, and you just work through some of the processes, you'll get it. I think we gave you pretty good notes to work from, which is one of the things about our courses is we usually give you good handouts, so you got something to go back to. All right, so this ink here is, you see the iridescence in that? That is from Tracy Batista. I've never had any of Tracy's products, and she was offering a deal in December where she was doing her watercolor palettes and her inks. And so this is like the kit that I got from her. It's got a couple of she makes her own watercolors. She hand grinds and makes her own watercolors. So these are those. And then the pink that you saw in there was the ink from this group. You see how gorgeous those are? They have the mica in them. And she sends you some tools to use. I don't know. I have Tracy's books. If you know who Tracy Batista is, she is also a Stencil Girl designer, and I have always loved her designs.
Yeah, she has really great designs.
She has these little chips and things that you can add to your work. And then she also gave me, pieces of her papers. And these are some of the colors that I was swatching from the set that I got from her. I don't know if you guys can see the iridescence in those watercolors. So what she does is, let me get these. She grinds her own pigments and stuff and makes these watercolor palettes. So you get a watercolor palette. There, it says Happy Holidays, Tracy. That's kind of cool. So you get a palette like this, and then you can, what did I do with my little brush? You can pick up some of this color. I think I used that one. I did do the green and blue. There's those pretty green tones. Aren't those gorgeous? So I don't think I came down here and got these colors, but you notice that there's iridescence. And these are just tiles that when she ships them out, she'll do these swatches of these colors, and she puts them out on these tiles. And you know, I love these earthy tones anyway. She does a lot of, she's originally from Hawaii, I think, and so she does a lot of these floral earthy tone things, which I love. This one is very similar in color. A little bit more rich, but I've been using my dip pen with a lot of these and just playing.
I wished I would have picked some of those up. I guess I didn't pay enough attention.
Well, she's got a new set that's coming out right now.
I've seen her like individual pans where she's put a lot of really interesting, iridescent stuff. They kind of look like geodes, sort of. I've seen Mary Beth Shaw have them on her when she's been playing with them, and I was saying to myself,
the problem is they're very expensive, and like when you get a grouping like this, you get a palette, but then you get 2 pans.
mm-hmm.
So they are very customized and rather expensive. It's kind of like those ones where people are hand making on Etsy. And the thing about hers is you do get coursework content with it. So she's going to be sending me a link to a course, which, I do have her, like I said, I do have her books, but I signed up for a course with her in Chicago a number of years ago, and she got sick and I never got to take it. So I was always really disappointed because I never got to take the in-person class with her. But this was kind of my treat, was I was going to get to do a Tracy course. If you notice on some of the, I think it's Strathmore papers, some of her artwork is on the front of their Strathmore papers. Is it the watercolor paper? It might be.
I think she also had a medium at one point. I think my package of gloss medium that was her branded. Collage something. It was Tracy Bautista. Had a picture of her on the front.
Mm-hmm. But if you get a chance, like if you're at the half price bookstore and you get a chance to pick up one of her books, or even if it's not half price, you can order it on Amazon, I'm pretty sure. She has a lot of good content about, making your own tools and, making your art yours. And she was one of the first ones that was teaching me a lot of the techniques for doing that sort of stuff. So that's why I really appreciate Tracy, because she opened my eyes to that side of things. See if I can get in here. I'm going to sprinkle just a little bit of this. If I can get in there. But how fun to play with these products, right?
So I stenciled this word serenity using stencil, and then I stenciled it with the midnight color Stays On, so it's permanent on there. But this pen that I just used, which is a new pen to me, I got one for Peg too. It's got Sumi ink in it, so it's not permanent. So I'm able to blend, but it has a really interesting tip. It's got like this very flexible, not a brush, but like a brush tip. I like this pen. It's okay, never mind. I think it's made by Uni, UNI, and it has Japanese writing on it, so I can't tell you.
I was trying to reach for mine. I did use it and I like it.
Yeah, it's a cool pen. It's blendy, so you can do the.
Yeah, here it is. And so, like, if I wanted to let's see if I can blend out some of that in here.
Of course, it means, you know, like for something like this, I'm going to need to put a coat of sealer on it because I'm going to be handling this book a lot. So I know that I'm going to have to seal it. I'll just take it outside and spray it or something. But it's kind of fun to play with it.
You know, it looks like there might actually be a little shimmer in this.
There might be. I don't know. I think it's Japanese Sumi ink, you know? Like I have a bottle of that type of ink.
Yeah.
I think that's what kind of ink is in here.
Yeah, I got some that has, I've got one that's got the silver in it. I've got one that's got the gold in it. I should show you guys that other book. It's really cool. What did I do with it? I think it's over here.
I'm trying to think of the place that I ordered this stuff from. I've ordered from them a couple times now. I ordered those shadow watercolors that I got that are mixed with the Sumi ink. And it's called St. Louis Art Supply. St. Louis Art Supply is what it is online. And they just picked up the Schminky. You know, it's hard to get Schminky watercolors here. They just picked them up at St. Louis Art Supply. So you can now get the Schminkies from them.
Oh, all right.
And they've got the granulating ones. You know,
Oh, my favorites.
I bought those two from that lady in China where she made little tiny pans.
Uh-huh.
Remember I've showed you that before.
Yep.
And yeah, they've got them at St. Louis. Pretty sure that's what it's called. St. Louis Artsupply.com.
I wonder if Mary Beth knows that, because she's She's down there.
Yeah, I assume that's where they are if it says that in the name. I don't know. It's like, it's like ordering from Blick or
Yeah,
whoever. It's like ordering, and you can get free shipping if you order enough and the whole
right.
thing. But I just saw that they had picked up, I got a notification that they picked up the Schminkies from Germany, which I want them all. They're expensive, it's an import, but if you combine things with other things and you do all that, you can probably get a pretty decent deal. And I gotta take the cap off. This is the Posca brush pen, which is another new thing to me, which is a pretty crazy thing. I'm pretty obsessed. I like to do a little blending with my Poscas too. And this is acrylic ink, so it's permanent, where that other thing is not. But you can blend with your water brush. Give yourself a few little highlighty thingies, like you do. Keep wanting to put it back in the lid, and I'll put it in the one from my water pen. Not be too brilliant. So I gotta go collect some stuff to finish this book. It's gonna require junk to make a junk journal. So I need to dig around all my papers and
Yep.
find, because I didn't have that all collected. And I don't really know what time it is either. Looks like we got
It
15
is.
minutes.
We've got about 20 minutes, looks like.
But this is my cover. And this is going to be the one I'm going to, well, probably not the only one I'm going to work in. I don't really know what Wanderlust has, but I know that I'm talking about junk journals, so I figured I could make a legitimate junk journal, not a junk journal from a kit. Oh, here's our junk journal kit. How is that a junk journal?
Yeah.
It's not made out of junk.
Yeah. Well, I did Wanderlust for a number of years. I can't remember if I signed up this year or not. I'm going to have to go look at my list of courses and see. Because, I was already in Wanderlust, so I might have. I'm just saying I might have. I don't know.
Well, Mary Beth Shaw was advertising it, I think.
Yeah.
And it was really inexpensive price. This was like, months ago, right?
Yeah.
And they did have some free content that you could pick up. And so I went ahead and did
on
it.
sale or not, is it?
It's what?
It might still be on sale through the first of the year even.
I don't know. This was like the really, really early bird, like a long time ago price. But I signed up for it one other year and I didn't complete it. I did maybe the first 6 things, and that was it. So I don't know why I bother, because I lose interest, and I don't know. I blame Mary Beth Shaw. It's her fault.
Yeah, probably.
She's an enabler.
Yeah. But we like what she does, so.
Yes. I do like what she does.
So I look at that stencil. Is that not the coolest stencil? I love this thing.
Yeah, I love that stencil. They're changing stencils.
Inks from Tracy are actually bleeding through the white paint, which I don't have a problem with, because I like it. But just know that if you don't like that, you probably want to seal.
Oh, so that is
down. It's like the
strong.
Diane Reevely stuff. Man, you cannot push that stuff into the back.
Nope. That's the strong pigments. That means she's using some serious mojo there.
But I'm really happy with that stencil. It just, because I like these, and I will probably be using this over the top of some of my watercolors. because I like it a lot. So let me show you this. This is the Chinese brush painting, the easy way it says. Let me toss this aside. This is, okay, so now I've got a little junk journal with Focus 2022 on it. So there's my word. And I've started, you know, doing some of the interior page stuff. But this is it's a kit. It comes with an instruction book, 5 sheets of rice paper, 1 practice pad, 1 inkstone, 1 ink stick, 1 brush, and 5 tubes of watercolor paint. And then they give you 1 sheet of reusable slate paper. So it's called the Spice Box. And look at this on the front. You know, I love this. This is just gorgeous to me. Rain drowning out. Okay. So anyway, you open it up. Here's 30 sheets of this quality art paper, the practice pad. And here's the gridded paper they were talking about. And then these are the practice sheets. Then here's the block with the inks and watercolor and the brush. So this is the stone to put your stuff out on too. And these are Chinese watercolors. It's got a white, a burnt sienna, an indigo, a gamboge, and a carmine, and then the black stick. And then here's the brush. And I do have other Chinese calligraphy brushes in my stash. So that's cool. And yeah, I think most of the stuff I got at the half price store was like under $10. So, and then this has this book in here. So it says, discover the artist within you, Chinese brush painting. And it's got that gorgeous picture on the front, but it's showing you, you know, the process of doing the painting with the brush and how to hold it, you know, how to get the right angle on it, all of that sort of thing. So I look forward to using this. It'll be a good practice thing for me to do. It should be a good daily practice thing for me to do as I learn how to use this. So here's, I've got a spot of paint on there. And I need to throw that in my water. Or I could. Let's get a little bit of that off of the sponge instead of just washing it down the sink.
Where's my notes? Where did you go? Notes.
So that's pretty well cleaned out, but I am going to drop it in some water. Here's those pages I had started doing some printing with. Kind of like this. Scissors. Cut this off.
I don't know how to spell that word. How do you spell rhythm?
Oh, brother. R-Y-T-H. No. Wait a minute.
That's what I said. R-Y-T-H. But then it didn't look right. And then, yeah. I don't know how to spell it. It's a weird word. Peggy says she keeps having to turn up our volume because the rain is drowning us out.
Yeah, RYTHM. I always want to put a vowel in there, and there's no vowel.
Yeah, that's what I just did, was put a vowel in,
Yeah.
and then decided it didn't look right.
Yeah.
It's like, what? It's just RYTHM, huh?
Right.
It looks weird.
It does, but you know, I don't know what the origin of that word is.
Me neither. Mm-mm.
Was it Greek? It's Greek to me. There we go. And that. Or do I want to go this way? No, I don't think I want to cover that.
All right, I think I'm done. I think I'm happy with it. I think it looks pretty cool.
That's going to go on there somewhere. And I think I want to emphasize the edge. So to do that, I'm just going to take my big marking brush, wherever I put that. It's here somewhere because I just had it.
Barbara, I would accept your junk for junk journaling if you want to send it. She says she's got a lot of junk she could send me to make my junk journal.
Oh, fun.
I have a lot of paper.
Full
But
junk. I've seen her junk.
I haven't saved like a lot of junk mail and stuff recently. I've just been throwing it out. But I want to make a legitimate crap journal, you know?
Yeah.
Like stuff you would throw out, and I want to just play with that. And
Well-
that's something that makes me feel better when I'm making art out of something that would have been thrown away. It just
Right.
makes me happy. So that's what I'd like to do for my practice in the morning this year.
And
So
that's what
the
I
reason I'm making it.
I went to the half price book is I picked up a few magazines for collage stuff because I don't want to pay for expensive magazines. You can get them there really super cheap. And so I was just cutting out some things to go in my junk journal. You know, this is junk.
I'm sure we must have something here that's like that, but I don't know. In a town of 1 million people, I'm not really sure. I don't ever see like recycled art supply stores like you have, and you know that type of stuff. I don't see that stuff, so I don't know.
Well, I'll have to ask my friend that runs that store if she knows, because she converses with people in other states that have that type of thing. So she might actually know where you can locate something like that.
I know there's a one of those rehab stores where you take your like if you pull out your cabinets or whatever.
Yeah, the Renew.
Habitat for Humanity.
Yep, we've got those too.
Is it just called Restore?
Restore,
I think
yes.
it's called Restore, yeah.
Yeah.
I know there's one of those. I saw that.
Yeah, we've gotten a lot of good stuff out of the Restore. So that was just a piece of the cutout from the focus word. How are we doing here? We're doing good. We got 6 minutes, but we don't have to do anything in that 6 minutes. Anybody have any questions about what's coming out or what we're planning? Anybody want to share what their plans are? Yeah, I don't save a lot of stuff because I create a lot of stuff. I create a lot of my own papers and things. So like if I have some background papers, like stuff junk out of the trash, I will print it immediately because I don't want to just save the paper. I want it to have paint or something on it.
Yeah, I don't, I mean, the only time I've really created like a completely recycled journal is a couple years I did that for our November challenge, and I saved like the cardboard type stuff. But otherwise I don't. Unless there's like, I mean, the reason I have these is because there was pretty stuff on it. It's like, you know, pretty red holly, and I have a lot of these type of envelopes with these interesting patterns. I guess I have a lot of that. I just have to dig through my stuff, but like this is from a magazine, Improving Plant and Soil Health. I just thought that was interesting, you know. Thank you. So this is what I'm going to create my journal out of, which is not stuff that's easy to work with, right? It's thin paper. It's crappy paper. That's the reason I don't save it all the time. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do for like just, you know, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes a day in the morning, calming music, thinking about being calm, thinking about being clear, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's my plan. That's my only plan.
So Jenny's asking, will there be a list of upcoming challenges? And yes, we will put things in the group as they come out. Like I said, on the 1st, we will actually show our very first live video. It's not actually live. It's a pre-recorded video that we will be watching with you in Art Joy is Sharing for the first monthly challenge.
Yes.
And that is January 1st. So watch for that. And of course, we are still going to have the hashtags that we have had show up in albums in Art Joy is Sharing. So if you want to go and check out what we've done in the past for different hashtags, or you can still contribute to all of those folders if there's anything there that you want to contribute to. And all those hashtags are still alive on Instagram and all those places. So if you want to look up what other people have done in the past, put in the hashtag and it'll pull up a whole bunch of things. But I know that there will be a number of things that we will be participating in throughout the year. We will definitely hashtag everything when we put it into the group, so that you guys can follow along as we do things. For today, I would say use the hashtag AJOS 2022 word, because Shell and I both did a word for 2022.
Mm-hmm.
And,
we would like to see your word art. Pick your word, think about it a lot, and then make some sort of something, whether it's a doodle or watercolor or multimedia situation, make something, put it in the group. But as far as being more focused, our hashtag theme will come out on January 1st. Our video doing our new challenge will come out January 1st. Our mood board, which is related to our hashtag and theme, will come out January 1st. And then those things, and then all through the month, as we're doing our live streams, whatever we're doing for it will be related to that hashtag theme for the month. So it's all going to be interlocking and related, and everything that we do as far as Art Joy is Sharing during that month will be related to that. And then starting February 1st, it will change. And all of February, same thing. Our challenge, our mood board, all our things that we do on our live stream will be related to that theme. So each month has a theme, and then everything is related to it. It all comes back to that. So you can use that hashtag, that theme hashtag, which always starts with AJOS, for anything that you do that month that's related to that. So we'll be doing a lot of things, but they're all going to be related and under the umbrella of the thing that is the theme for the month.
And that's really what we wanted to do, was to have something that was relatable. So no matter what portion of that you're doing, it will come back to something within the group and be relatable.
So that's our big plan. Yeah, that's our big plan. We hope you like it. And we hope you have a happy New Year's celebration, however you celebrate. If it's a bonfire, if it's going out to a club, if it's whatever, be careful if you're driving on New Year's Eve,
Right.
because there's crazy people.
Crazy people.
I'm not sure what I'm doing. We are tossing around a few ideas. I'm not sure what Peg's doing, but
We
will
don't
see you
we
next
don't go
Thursday.
anywhere on New Year's Eve because there are crazy people.
Yeah. Actually, we'll see you on the 1st, which is not next
Yeah.
Thursday. That comes before the next Thursday, right? I think so. Yes.
It does.
We will see you in our Joy of Sharing, our community on Facebook on the 1st at 10:30 Central. Sorry. I choked on my own spit.
Uh-oh.
We will be there. You will be there. We will all be there watching the video together. Sound good?
So it sounds really good. I'm looking forward to it. I want to thank you guys for having been here today. And I'm adding a tag that says, be kind to others, but always be compassionate to yourself. And that's my wish for you, dear friends. Happy New Year, and we will see you again soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.